In light of tonight's vice presidential debate, I'd like to make a few comparisons about the two candidates. Now, Tim Walz says that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are weird. Well, J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are weird. Now, Tim Walz, he's your everyday, down-to-earth kind of human being. J.D. Vance is on Earth every day and looks like a human being. Tim Walz, he believes in providing healthcare products for women and girls that are on their menstrual monthly cycles. J.D. Vance wants to create a government database that tracks women and girls' monthly cycles. Tim Walz, he believes in equal rights for gay and transgender people. J.D. Vance used to believe in equal rights for gay and transgender people because his best friend was a transgendered person up until J.D. Vance figured out he could make a lot of money as a right-wing, conservative, transgender, and gay-hating politician. Now, Tim Walz aspires to be president one day, probably in 2032 after Kamala Harris does 2 terms. J.D. Vance aspires to be president one day, probably in 180 days of Donald Trump's presidency after the Heritage Foundation gets to implement their 180-day plan, aka their hidden 4th pillar. Now, Tim Walz is the type of fellow that could sit on the couch and enjoy a good football game. Now, J.D. Vance is the type of fellow that could put his wiener on the couch and watch the cheerleaders during a good football game. So these are just a few comparisons, okay? Now, going into this debate, we might already have preconceived notions of who already won before the debate happened. Now, if you're the type of person that believes in hope and a positive message for the country, and you like somebody who tells the truth, you're probably going to think that Tim Walz won that debate. Now, if you're the type of person that has a negative view of the country and you think that the country is turning into a third world country like Donald Trump says, and always believes in the lie that's told to you and you enjoy being lied to, you're going to think J.D. Vance won the debate. It's pretty simple. Okay, so in other words, if you're a real patriotic person, you're going to believe Tim Walz won a debate. If you're somebody who calls yourself a patriot while you're actually a traitor, you're going to think J.D. Vance won a debate. Real simple, y'all. So anyway, if you're not already following me on the YT, go to my link tree in my TikTok bio. Give me a follow at Black Boot Official. If you are following me on the YT, hit the subscribe button, y'all. And enjoy the debate and may the best man win. And I think I know who that's going to be. An inmate Trump 2024.